Iran celebrates 40 years since its Islamic revolution. What has it meant for the country and beyond? Hello, I'm Anand Naidu, and this is The Heat. It was February 11th, 1979. After days of protests, street battles and uncertainty, Iran's military stood down, paving the way for the Islamic Revolution and the return of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. The 2,500-year-old Iranian monarchy was over. The journey since has seen a variety of challenges, from a struggling economy to a geopolitical uncertainty. CGTN's Jim Spellman has more in this report.
40 years ago, the U.S.-backed Shah of Iran was forced out of the country, clearing the way for Ayatollah Khomeini to return from exile and assume power. The revolution promised a better living for all Iranians and an Islamic government no longer beholden to Washington. But from the start, a series of conflicts made prosperity and peace a challenge. In 1979, Iranian students seized the U.S. embassy in Tehran, holding hostages for 444 days. Over the years, the U.S. has objected to Iran's nuclear program and alleged that Shia-dominated Iran has sought to become a power broker in the Middle East by aligning itself with Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and the Houthis in Yemen. These ties have put Iran at odds with U.S. allies Israel and Saudi Arabia.
You, the United States, wanted us not to see the 40th anniversary of the Islamic Revolution and not to celebrate it. You imagined that on the 40th anniversary of the revolution, you would be dancing and celebrating in Tehran and would dominate the Iranian nation and bring it to its knees.
A bloody 8-year war with neighboring Iraq in the 1980s claimed hundreds of thousands of lives on both sides and drained valuable resources from the newly formed government in Tehran. Iran's economic fortunes have ebbed and flowed, sometimes at the mercy of rising or falling oil prices, at other times struggling under crippling U.S. sanctions. The 2015 nuclear deal gave hope that Iran would be free of sanctions, but President Donald Trump pulled the U.S. out of the deal in 2018, and sanctions have returned, further straining an already struggling economy.
The economic situation is a mess because of political reasons. It mostly doesn't have anything to do with the revolution. It's mostly America's muscle flexing.
At times, frustration in Iran has boiled over. In 2009, the so-called Green Movement protests over claims of rigged elections dragged on for months, leading to a government crackdown. Recent economic hardship and allegations of government corruption led to more protests. Assessing the revolution 40 years on, some Iranians embrace the shift to an Islamic government.
If the revolution had not happened, the hijab would have disappeared now, and immorality would be prevalent. There would be no Friday prayers, and we would not have as many mosques as we have today.
Others point to free elections as a benefit of the revolution.
Now everybody is elected with people's votes. Before this 40-year period, people had no right to vote.
There is acknowledgement within the government that the goals of the revolution are unmet, but the commitment to those goals remains.
Definitely, we are not saying that right now we have a rosy society. We are not saying that our economy is very beautiful and our social justice is very good. Yeah, there are some difficult shows. You see, we are going toward a top of the mountain, okay? During this way, you have so many difficulties, okay?
Jim Spellman, CGTN, Washington.